Lucky boy today. Findley will be my guest. Coming in hopefully in about 15 minutes' time. Fingers crossed on a fair old wind. And bringing another muso with her, the amazing Shotty. Shotty. Don't forget, as always, if you'd like a request or a dedication, it's your HFM. Make use of it. 01858 464 666. But of course, you knew that, didn't you? Yes, you did.
The details.
102.3
HFM.
It is indeed. Now, I mentioned a little earlier, that joining me in the studio would be the lovely Findley Webster. Hello, Findley, how are you all right?
I'm good, thanks, Richard.
I'll kill you for that jacket. I love that jacket.
It's all right, isn't it?
It's a good one.
It's a special.
It's special.
Special one.
And on your left, would you introduce me to this gentleman,
Sure,
please?
this is Shotty.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Oh, hang on, there you are. Say it again.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, now, this is years ago. I don't know if you know about this, Findley, but this gentleman here, he sort of sampled a bit of this show. Do you remember?
I do remember.
And did a track for it. It was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
it was superb.
Yeah.
You're not in here to talk about that, though, are you? What are we going to be talking about today? What's this all about, Findley? Tell
All
me.
the new stuff. Well, last time I was here, we played the remix of Stay.
That's
which
right.
is where I met Shotty, and we just decided to collaborate. And we went, great new sound, and singer-songwriter. So we've been working together, and we thought, right, we've got five tracks.
6 tracks now.
6 tracks.
Six tracks. So, Shotty, what's your role in all this?
Basically, I'm producing the EP. Findley's come to me with a lot of tracks that she's already written and provided me with the vocals. So I've sat down and started to reproduce the tracks and produce new music around it and different beats and try and bring it to a sort of futuristic sound, which is what I generally do, yeah.
So now they're sitting in here now.
Yeah.
Okay, we might as well play a track. How many tracks have we got on here?
If you look on the back, I've actually given you a track list.
Oh.
Yes.
Too smart by far.
Yes.
Too smart by far.
There are 6 tracks on there.
Okay.
Now, can I just say, the first one, We Are One, we kind of did that in mind with the festival atmosphere, because we thought, when you're doing something new in front of an audience that hasn't seen you before, one, it's a great energy vibe anyway, but it's kind of putting yourself out to the audience and getting that connectivity, and it's quite, I think, cinematic. Is that the right?
But We Are One.
Yeah.
We Are One is it's not so much. It doesn't really follow the normal structure of a song. It's more of an introduction to the rest of the EP, and it kind of demonstrates 3 separate stages of what to expect.
So it sets the scene, really.
Yes, basically.
A bit like a play, in a sense. So here's the overview. Yeah. Now sit down and relax and enjoy the whole thing.
Yeah.
I like this. Well, let's hear it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Try this.
Look to the stars. Beyond Jupiter.
You know
I'm sorry, sorry, guys. I got to tell you, I think that's fantastic.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed that, and that end bit took me by surprise. That's wonderful. So that's We Are One, and it's in brackets introduction. So it's an introduction to like a piece, really.
Yeah, 3 movements,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
More about that a little later, okay?
Great.
Because now I have to do something like this.
HFM Travel.
With Active Smile Dental Practice.
Called Shock, and it's by Findley Webster. I keep saying it's by Findley Webster, but it's really, it's the two of you, isn't it? It's really odd because you're not normally there. And, and I see Findley sitting there, and I'm thinking, that's Findley, but however, Shotty's here too. Is it a collaborative thing? Do you call it, are you going to give yourselves a name, or is it Findley Webster and Shotty, or what?
It's Findley Webster and Shotty. We're both known in our own fields, aren't we? So
Whoa.
Yeah.
we called it the collaborative.
Or a little shot of Findley.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I think we could do that, but then it would be a shame of all the time and effort that we put into promoting our own names over the last few years. Because I think by combining the two names as one.
Excuse me, I'm getting a lot of feedback. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to sort that out. One of us is not sealed in. Check you're sealed. Finley, you're in there,
I'm glued,
you?
I'm glued.
You're glued, okay. We'll live with it for a while then.
Yeah, so like I say, it would just push both names forward, and obviously you bring together both audiences that you've already gathered over the years. You know, so.
How do you see it looking on a stage? How would you present that? I mean, to me, it sounds like a show. It's something I'd go along and be enthralled by rather than standing up and yelling.
Yeah, it's not the rock band thing or the, me standing there with the guitar and singing the singer-songwriter thing. So for me, I always, with this sound and the way the stories tell, it's more of a light and visual. So for me, it's a very cinematic, powerful drama. Not doing a Kate Bush.
Not quite.
not quite Kate Bush. I've got her budget, but if good sound, you've got good sound, you've got light, you've got visual, and when you're kind of looking at a festival atmosphere, a crowd, you're new. You want to go out there and make a statement.
And it's punchy enough. Let's face it.
I tell you what, you said it earlier. The louder the better, because the way that this boy produces sound, it's not my usual thing to want to turn something up, but when you do, all the colour comes out in this music.
That's what I was thinking.
Really,
it's very
really
colourful.
You should never be afraid with the volume, because it doesn't distort. Everything's there and it's in its place, and you go, wow, and it just hits you, this wall of sound, but not for all the wrong reasons. Can I ask you how you approach this, though? Do you go to Shotty and say, look, here's an idea that I have, and you look at it and say, well, actually, Findley, this would be good, but we need to do this with it?
Yeah, well the first few tracks, Findley at Marie, so I'd already written the actual song and put some music to it, so It was already a song.
Yeah.
So it was kind of taking that song and following the chord structure, taking the vocals out of it and putting it into something new. But now with the last few tracks that we've made, you're actually coming up with fresh vocals that haven't already been engineered into a song. So
right, sorry, I'm really struggling with this feedback. It's really bad. One of us is very loud, and I'm trying to get this right here. It's driving me nuts. Anyway, I think we should live the dream, don't you?
Are you brave enough?
Yeah.
Well, I want you to stand, because I know you get up off your seat and start jumping around the studio, and I'm just warning you now.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's one of those.
Are you sure?
I must admit, I must just add that Shock, the track that you just played, that's one of my favourites on the EP. And Living the Dream is the second favourite.
Is the second favourite?
Those two.
You do understand this could be my favourite then? Because I don't share favourites with anyone, all right?
Okay.
This could be great. Here we go.
You only live once. Ooh, that's what they say. So if I get one chance, I'm gonna do it my way, my way. So if you're gonna do it with style. Every little thing, make it worthwhile. Have a choice, just listen to your voice. Ooh, they can tell you what to do, tell you what to say. You've got to do it your way. So now's the time to take a chance. I'll live down that dream that everybody does never seems. I'll live down that dream that everybody does never seems. I'll live down that dream that everybody does never seems. I'll live down that dream that everybody does never seems. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. You only live once. Ooh, that's what they say. So if I get one chance, I'm gonna do it my way, my way. So if you're gonna do it with style. Every little thing, make it worthwhile. I'll live down that dream that everybody does never seems. I'll live down that dream. It's a hell of a job. On the top. It's a hell of a job.
Findley Webster, complete with Shotty, of course. It's a long way down. Oh, it is a long way down. It's a long way down. It is.
hell of a job.
It is. This is some. Do you call it? Are you calling it an EP? Is it going to be released? Are you going to release this? What's going to happen?
That's the plan. That is the plan. We're still trying to come up with a name for it, aren't we?
Yeah.
What, as an EP, as a collective thing? Because it is a showpiece.
Yeah, and we kind of neither of us like the idea of particularly using a title track, a track, a list of it to say, oh, it's this because that's the hit record or whatever.
Yeah.
So I actually sent you an email the other day. I said, well, I've got to start the ball rolling and do random things like pigs do fly.
Yeah.
And you actually.
Yeah, I read it and it was quite early in the morning on a Saturday, and I just thought, what's she going on about? She just sending a load of random messages, and I thought, oh right, the EP titles, right?
Oh, I
Just to
see.
sort of like get the ball rolling on the ideas. Yeah.
So TBC, I think, is the order of the day that we'll think on
Okay.
it.
Well, there's still one more track to be finished for this EP. So once that's finished, then that will finalise it.
Is that the number 6 that's missing from
That's
here?
the number 6. As
So
well.
actually, this is a rarity. This could be worth a lot of money. I could sell this on eBay. You do know that,
This
don't
is a
you?
first.
You're never going to see this again. You do know that. You could buy me a new car. Yes. So what is the plan for the future? You've mentioned about putting this live on stage. Now, it can't be a one-off, surely, because this is too big for just a one-off.
I think, we're talking about the festival thing, but I mean, it's a drama, so it's finding the right venues and people that are prepared to put us on. We need a testing ground for sure. Obviously, I've worked live a lot. Shotty's done his side of it, and we're both excited about, putting the whole vision together and putting it out there. But that's supply and demand. We put the previews out, didn't we, this weekend, and we've had some really good response, so that's been fantastic. So of course, yes, we'll release it, and we are both live people as well, in the sense of wanting to get out there and do it. So it's not just listen to this, it's not possible. It's absolutely possible.
It's easy for me to sit here and say, oh, you got to release that and da-da-da. It costs a lot of money to do that kind of thing. It still does, and promote it and get it out there, and it's all very well saying, oh, it's available on Amazon, you can get it on iTunes, you can do da-da-da. It still costs money to get it out there, produce the thing, get it sorted. But whilst that last track was playing, I was thinking, in my head, I see pictures. My head's complete la-la. I see all kinds of strange things when I hear
You
music.
just heard mine.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. And all I could see was, again, that image of lots of lights, as you were talking about, and everything else, but also maybe a few dancers at the back. That's a nice little dance track. It's got a floaty thing going on too.
Well, I like the visual as well, because that's a great thing about, with videos now, not necessarily one you've made, but, these great shots of the city, feet on the edge of a building, just,
I know.
that kind of cinematic thing that goes with it.
And shoot from one to the other, bang, bang. Yeah. Listen, we're going to play another track, but we've got to say goodbye. I want to say thank you so much for coming in.
Well, thank you
this
for
afternoon.
having us. It's been great.
Well, it's always a pleasure. It is.
Yes, thank you.
You might just put the brown envelope over there.
Yes.
The usual.
I've put it under the desk, actually.
Have you?
Yeah.
You see, that's breaking with protocol, really.
Oh, is it? I'll put it on top of the desk on the way out.
But come back. You've got to keep coming back.
Absolutely,
okay?
yeah.
Definitely.
I know it's not easy just to walk past here on the way to the shops, but if ever you're passing by, drop in.
That's what we did today, and you just happened to be free.
That's what it was, I know.
It's a shame we're going now, because we're actually resealed, and we seem to have stopped the screaming microphone. That's stopped now.
I know. Well, you can hang around if you want
time.
to. Hang around. But we're going to play another track anyway. It'll take us all the way to the news at 4.
Great, thank
I just
you.
want to chat to you just to finally a little bit more about the future. Because you've got some tracks on here, and possibly it's going to be released, or is it a definite release?
It'll be a definite release, and we'll let you know as soon as we've
Please
got
do.
the last track. And and people, if people are interested, please write in on our Facebook and Twitter and all the usual.
Because I
things.
love to see a final release of anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The whole point of the EP, it's got it's multi-purpose. I mean, we've designed it with it could be used in TV and film. It could be used as a stage performance, but at the same time, it's got the energy and the bass lines to be a dance track or a club track, and actually be played in club venues just out in town or in the city. So
Funny you say
it's got
that.
multiple uses,
Listening to that last track, I could see a film.
Yeah.
It's quite funny, and I was thinking of like Kill Bill 2 or something like that. You could actually hear that playing.
Well, funny, when I was in it, I'm really dropping it here, but when I was in LA, that's what inspired me, because, you realise when you're watching something on the TV or watching a film, it's not just a popular song that's on there. There's a lot of behind the scene you're seeing, some fantastic music, and I thought, well, it'd be great to be part of that. You don't have to be number one, but you can be writing and singing and doing it and getting it out there.
Oh, absolutely.
And the imagery is really important. So Shotty's quite right. That energy. You've got all tangents there covered.
Well, we all know, we're not naive. We all know that some of the most successful songwriters in the world have never been to number one.
Yeah.
They've never ever been in the charts.
Yeah.
But they are incredible writers, and they're all over Broadway, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You'll find them in the West End of London. You'll find them in all the theatres in all the provincial towns, It's as simple as that.
There's lots of uses for audio production, and there's different avenues you can go down, So
Right, guys, it's
Thanks,
goodbye time.
Richard. Yeah.
I'm going to play another track now before you go. And this one is, it concerns us all, really, doesn't
Yes,
it?
it
We're
does.
all human.
Yes,
And
and
it's
we
human.
have our days.
Well, very briefly, give me the inspiration for this one, would you?
That's the fact, we are human, and so, you know, when people have a bad day or somebody's upset you, you know, you feel a certain way sometimes, and I had that happen to me, like I'm sure a lot of people out there do, and you know, and some people can make you feel small, and you know, you want to sometimes say, well, I'm human, you know, with the fast pace of life that we live in. Just remember, you know, sometimes just pull the throttle back and don't let it get you down.
Findley Webster, Shotty, thank you so much for coming in. This is
Cheers.
Human to the News from the newsroom at HFM with Nick Shaw.